In this video, we're going to cover how to do a binomial test. If you want to check out, well, basically a binomial test of a proportion. So let's pretend I'm interested in gender, and I want to know, is it 50% men, 50% women? And this is on sample data that can be downloaded from my website. So I'm going to go to Analyze. You don't have to highlight it, but I'm just going to go Analyze, and I'm going to go Non-Parametric Tests. I'm going to go to Binomial. And I'm going to click on, well, it's already highlighted. Well, click on again, gender, put it over here. And I'm going to look for, is basically the proportion 50%? You know, are men 50% or are women 50%? You know, it's going to test that. Alright, and then that's pretty much all you have to really do. So I'm going to click OK. And you can see from here, it's doing a two-tailed test and it's saying not equal to, because the p-value is 0. Now, one of the things that a lot of students of mine I've noticed had a problem with the binomial test. This is basically a z. They're using a z approximation, so it's like basically a one-sample z test of proportions. And one of the problems they have is, you see, this is category 1, and in the top group 1 is called 1. So it's really testing, does group 1 equal 0.5? And the reason that's important to make a note of, when you're thinking null alternative hypothesis, it's not testing does group 0 equal 0.5. It's testing category 0 equal 0.5. It's testing does category 1 equal 0.5. And here's why that's important. This one with 0.5, it's not as important. I'm going to go back to binomial. And instead of 0.5, I'm going to change it to 0.4, maybe 0.47. And I'll click OK. The test, does it equal 0.47? Okay, it did another test. So you can see what here is now it's comparing, it did a one-tailed. Note that that's a one-tailed, it changed that. And it's testing, does category 1, which is labeled group 1, is category 1, does that equal 0.47? So it's the observed is 0.45. Does that equal the test proportion? Basically, pi that equals 0.47. For example, though, if you wanted to test this category 0 equal 0.47, then you really would have to do the test proportion of 0.53, or you'd have to switch. So you must know that in SPSS, when it's doing a binomial test, look at the first line and match up the category labeling with the test proportion. If they don't match what you want, then you might have to switch the test proportion to do a 1 minus to make it work. Okay, and that's how you do a binomial test in SPSS.